Good night to all viewers, and thank you for joining me on another episode of House and Home. I'm your host Lisa, and it's great to have your company. Now, last Sunday was Father's Day, and I'm sure you viewers out there made it special for your father. And Independence is also coming up, and I'm sure you viewers are looking forward to celebrate the day. Now, back to our lineup, we have Cooking with Besta. Teresa is back with another sewing. We caught up with Dreadlocks Doctor on Color Story. On gardening, Ishimu from Nature Park talks about the importance of plants. Quinten and I giving demonstration on Strava exercise app. And I show you how to make photo frame using cardboard on home decor. We start the show with cooking, and this time our bestie is up at 14 Mile Adventure Park preparing another simple yet a delicious recipe. Here it is.
Hi viewers, and welcome to another Cooking with Besta. I'm Noelyne, your Besta Bestie, and we're coming to you all the way from Adventure Park, Port Moresby. Tonight, Besta has yet another simple and tasty recipe for you. It is Besta tuna chunks in brine patties. So let's get into our ingredients. Firstly, the star of the show is the Besta tuna in brine. So we're gonna add that in to our mixing bowl. Viewers, we're not gonna cook this straight away. We're going to be mixing all the raw ingredients into a mixing bowl. Tonight I'm using 2 cans of Besta tuna in brine. Then again, it depends. You don't have to use Besta tuna in brine necessarily. You can use any other Besta product. We'll go on to adding our round onions already diced, our capsicum, tomatoes. Again, because for demonstration purposes, this raw vegetables that I'm using is just lick, but you can adjust to the number of heads you're cooking for, whether it's a party or a lunch or breakfast. So we're just gonna mix all these ingredients together. We're just combining them, mix well. I'm going to add salt to taste. Again, the salt is optional. You can add as much as you want or as little, or no salt at all if you're not eating salt out there, if you're health conscious. And I'm adding a bit of magic taste, or MSG as you would know it. Mix all that together. So viewers, now that we've combined all our ingredients together, I'm just going to move this across to make it easy. And now we're gonna proceed to adding our flour. We're adding our flour into our mix. This 1 cup of flour, but I'm not using all the flour at this stage. The whole idea is just to get our ingredients to combine, because once we put this on the frying pan, it will help hold all our ingredients, all our raw ingredients with the tuna. So viewers, as mentioned, just add your flour in, combine all that. The flour again will depend on the amount of ingredients you have in your mixing bowl. We're gonna go on to our egg, 1 egg. We're gonna break this into a bowl, and we will whisk this egg, and we will combine it to our mixture that's ready. The egg will just also help the flour hold all our ingredients together. And mix well. If you need to add another egg in, it's optional, but in this case, I only need to use 1 egg. And we'll get on to cooking our patties. Okay, viewers, our mix is ready. We're gonna get into making our patties, our tuna patties. So what I'm gonna do here, remember, COVID-19 is out there and it's here to stay. So always wash your hands before cooking. Always wash your hands before and after eating. And if you're going to cough, cough in your elbow. Just a friendly reminder from the Bestie family. So firstly, I'm just gonna get some of that flour that we still have left over. I'm just gonna put a bit of it in my hand. I've just got a simple plate here and I'm just gonna put some on that as well. Whatever plate or dish you're using at home is fine. And I'm gonna get just a small amount, depending how big you want your patties. It's just like making burger patties at home. And you're just gonna press them lightly together. And also while I'm doing this, viewers, pardon me, I'm just adding 1 to 2 tablespoons of Besta vegetable oil into the pan. My pan has been heated up already, medium heat, low to medium heat. So while I'm doing this, that's heating up, my pan's heating up. Doesn't have to be perfect. Then again, remember viewers, Besta recipes are simple, tasty, and therefore anybody out there, you don't have to be a chef to do this. So all you mamas out there, so I'll just do about 3. Also viewers, Adventure Park, it's a lovely, lovely day today. Bring your family out on the weekends. Come and see the friendly staff here at Adventure Park. Come and see our friendly staff here. They will be more than happy to help you. Okay, viewers, I'm just doing my last one, just for demonstration purposes. And I'm gonna put it on the pan. Also, viewers, as mentioned earlier, you don't have to use Besta tuna in brine. You can use any of our other Besta products, like Besta white tuna hot and spicy, Besta tuna chunks. Viewers, it looks like our patties are coming on nicely. They're browning. So I'm gonna take them off. Okay, viewers, our Besta patties are nice and golden brown. So I just have some lettuce, tomato, carrot, and cucumber prepared here on a plate. You can use any serving plate or dish or bowl at home that you have. And just remember your patties, when you turn them over, always just slightly press on it to just even out your ingredients. So viewers, we'll just take our last ones off. And viewers out there, all the Besta Besties, just remember, just to mention a few products that Besta has: Besta mackerel in coconut cream, Besta white tuna hot and spicy, Besta white tuna smoked and barbecued, Besta tuna chunks in oil, Besta tuna flakes in oil, Besta McFlakes in oil, just to mention a few, viewers. And Besta has a lot more products out there for you because Besta is just simply the best. And there you have it, viewers, our Besta tuna chunks in brine patties. Natingema, it's always better with Besta.
Welcome back. Up next we have Teresa, and this time she is making short pants for boys and girls. And if your mother out there would like to try something new, this is just for you. Here it is.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Quick Stitch. Thank you so much for joining me. Now on this bit, I'm going to be showing you all how to make short pants for little boys and girls. So here are the props that I'll be using. Now I'm going to be using a pair of scissors, a piece of fabric. Now I've chosen this floral fabric. So I have 2 pieces of this floral fabric. I've already cut out the pieces, the front and the back part of the short pants. And I also have a plain black fabric. So I've never used plain black fabric in all my sewing on House and Home. So I decided to use this against this floral color, and trust me, it's gonna stand out. And I also have some elastic and a safety pin to help push the elastic through the casing of the short pants. Let's get started. Alright, so we're gonna start off with the straps, black straps. So I'm gonna sew these straps against the floral fabric. So we're gonna start where the edge of the fabric is. Now I'm gonna fold in 1 centimeter and another centimeter in. So if you have an iron, you can iron out the edges so it makes it easier for you to sew. We're gonna sew the both plain and floral fabric together. So what I'm doing is I'm folding in 1 centimeter and another 1 centimeter. So you can see that we already have this piece sewn. So we're going to sew this on top. So fold in like so and sew. Alright, so the first piece is sewn. As you can see, so this is the edge, the lower edge of the short pants. So the same process will apply to this piece. All right, so go ahead and grab your 2 pieces of fabric, the plain black and the colored fabric. So you're just gonna fold in and another 1 centimeter in. So this is how the edges or the lower part of the pants should look like. There you go. And I also have this piece. So you can see the difference where we have this and we don't have this. The next step is to join the pieces together. So we're gonna make sure that the right sides are facing each other, and I'm gonna sew from this end down this way. There's a cap right here and I'm gonna end right here. So this will happen on this side of the pants as well. Now we're done sewing both pieces together. The next step is to pull this to end just like this. And we will have to sew running straight stitch, joining the pieces together completely. So from this end all the way to this end. Okay, so we're done sewing both pieces together completely. The last was to run a straight stitch all the way around. And what we're going to do is flip the pants right side out. That's what we're doing. Flip the pants right side out. As you can see, I love how the black stands out. You can see this is the black that's standing out. Okay. All right, the final, not the final step, but the second last step is to work on the casing. So we're gonna create a casing here. This is where the waist is. So I'm gonna fold in 1 centimeter and 2 centimeter in, like so. If this is your first time trying, you can go ahead and use your pins, but for now I'm just gonna fold as I sew along. All right, so you may be wondering, how did I even learn how to sew this? Well, I have to thank my mom for that. So what I'm doing is just creating the casing. And don't forget that you will have to leave an opening for the elastic to run through. All right, you know why I'm doing this? Because when it comes to the thick part of the fabric, you know, where you join fabric and they become a little bit thick, you have to be a lot more careful. So when it gets to this part, I try to slow down and make sure that it does not spoil the fabric or the needle doesn't break. All right, so I'm gonna leave an opening right here. This is so that the elastic can run through. So I'm gonna finish off with a back stitch and use my safety pin and the elastic. So the safety pin is gonna help the elastic through the casing. So I'm just gonna use this bit and cut right here. There you go. And let's push the elastic through the casing. Where is the opening? Okay, so I left an opening here. What we're gonna do is push the elastic through right here. So when you're pushing the elastic through the casing, always remember to hold the other end of the elastic so it doesn't get stuck in the casing. All right, so we have our elastic. So I'm just gonna run the stitches back and forth. All right, so we're done. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and run a straight stitch to close the opening so that everything is completely inside the casing. All right. And this is our short pants for boys and girls. This can make a great gift as well. Thank you so much for watching, and that's all we have for you on Quick Stitch. I'll see you all same time on another sewing project. Bye!
If you've been following us, we've seen great stories coming out from Color Story. Now, Color Story is a segment where we feature talented individual who has a business that operates from the comfort of their home. This week, we feature a young woman who calls herself the Dreadlocks Doctor. Let's take a look.
My name is Nancy Bono. I am from Gulf and Eastern Highlands. I am known as the Dreadlocks Doctor. I've been passionate about dreadlocks for as long as I can remember. I had dreadlocks before. This is the third time I've grown dreads. I had the 2 times I had them before, I couldn't maintain them myself, so I got it trimmed off. And then when I asked around the salons here to see if anyone was maintaining dreads or general care for dreadlocks, I couldn't find anyone, so I figured I should learn how to maintain dreadlocks myself. So that's where it all started. In 2014, I developed a goal to actually start a salon, but I didn't have the right kind of support. So it was just like a goal, and I was going to achieve it. And then it was until last year that I started Dreadlocks Doctor. I didn't actually think about a name for it before I started all of this. But when I actually took up a course online for general dreadlocks care maintenance. The course went on for 3 months. It was science styles that I got the course done. And in August last year, I got certified. And then I created the page, my Facebook page, Dreadlocks Doctor, on Facebook in September. And I did the page for fun. I didn't think people would be interested in the page. I just created it. And within 3 days, I had like 1,000 followers. And then I had people calling up and wanting to do appointment and all of this. And at that time, I didn't have my kit yet with me. Because when I got certified, all of this was supposed to come together when I got my certificate. But my certificate actually came first before the kit came. So I got my husband to do a custom-made hook for me and a latch hook, and then I started. And after the first client and I saw how satisfied he was, it sort of pushed me to take in more people to maintain locks, do instant dreadlocks, which is when people come in with afro hair and we actually turn them into locks. And then it just went from there, like people just came in. And then when I realized that it was also a demand for people from outside centers, at the top of my head, I just went, we need to take a trip to another center outside. So I started in September, and in November, we took a trip to Leh, our first trip. It was just like, I just made up my mind, like, if I don't take the trip, I won't know, like, the do's and don'ts. If I don't travel, I won't know anything at all. So all I went with was my assistant and my case. And then it was actually supposed to be a 4-day trip. And when we got to Leh, we had 14 clients to see, which was supposed to be a 4-day trip, and it turned out to be 2 weeks. And I couldn't work from home now because, like, with the lockdown, people couldn't move around. So I had to think of something, because everyone was going to be just at home. So I figured I might as well take the service to their doorstep. I figured that going to their doorstep was more comfortable for them. People are more, when they're in their comfort zone, they're more relaxed. And when we go for house calls, we work at that time. If they have like things to do around the house, we are just there. If they need to do like laundry or take care of kids or cook like that, they tell us and then we stop. They do whatever they want to do and then we start work again. So we don't have like a time limit, like we are here for 3 hours only and we leave. We're there at your time. You pay for the service, we get the job done and we go. I do instant dreadlocks. Instant dreadlocks is when you come in with afro hair and you want your hair turned into dreadlocks. And the process that we do for instant dreadlocks is if you do like a free-form dreadlocks where you actually twist your hair on your own, it takes up to 8 to 9 months to actually lock up. So instant dreadlocks, we get that process, that 8 months process, we do it in like 3 hours. So once we are done, it's like you have had dreadlocks for like 8 months. So in the beginning, before I started all of this, I didn't know that you can actually have dreadlocks with like long hair. And I only thought that dreadlocks was for, coarse hair. And when I actually took up the course, I realized that you can have dreadlocks with really long hair or shoulder length hair. And even if it's curly or straight, whatever, dreadlocks, we can do any type of hair. We also do custom-made follocks, which is this over here. This is for if you come in with short hair and then we do instant locks on your hair, and in the beginning when you do dreadlocks, there's a messy stage. You wake up in the morning and it's just messy and you don't know how to style it. And you go past that stage, and when your locks are down to your shoulder, now you can tie it up, do whatever style you want. So these custom-made locks here for when your locks are short and you just want to lengthen them out. They can stay on your hair for as long as 3 months. And then when your hair actually grows to a certain length, then we take out the locks and your hair grows all the way. You continue your natural locks journey. We have 4 locks. This is temporary. It's mostly for women only. You want to take a break from all the combing and styling and all of that, you get it installed in your hair. And it's also a protective hairstyle. Doesn't do any damage to your hair or anything like that. So after you get it installed, you can stay up to 8 weeks, and then we take it out again and then install it. We also provide the detangle service, so we uninstall ourselves and we also install. So we don't do the hairstyle and you take it away and you remove it yourself. You come back to us to uninstall. We have had Mariani, Masani, Kronos. J-Rex was one of our clients as well. We just worked on Sean Ray's hair. Silas Kanya is one. 04. Apart from all of this, installing locks and instant locks and all of that, we also have treatments like for lice treatment. We have lice treatment, hair treatment for dreadlocks if you have buildup in your hair or anything like that and you want to be washed out. We're a mobile dreadlock salon, but we have everything. We have like the inflatable sink and everything like that. So we bring everything to your house or wherever you are. And yeah, get the treatment done there. We also have the detangling service, which is you can have dreadlocks for as long as 5 years. And if you want your dreadlocks removed, we can detangle it for you. You actually put it in a soak and then we comb out the lock. So you don't have to cut your hair down like very short again. We do de-threading and dyeing, fading, all of that too. So we're not just specialized in installing locks and for locks and all of that. We also provide other services like lice treatment and general locks care. If there's a client out there who's interested in getting dreadlocks or 4 locks or anything like that to do with dreadlocks only, you can message us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page, Dreadlocks Doctor. You can also get us on 7477005. Text us or call us. We'll be more than happy to answer any questions. We're also on WhatsApp and Instagram.
My name's Jaylee. I've been on my dreadlocks journey for about 4 months now. So Dreadlocks Doctor, she started my hair off with instant dreadlocks, and then about a month later, she continued on to do the extensions here. So the dreads are actually lighter than normal extensions and they're easier to manage.
Thank you, Nancy, for sharing with us your story. Now, if you're a viewer out there who is talented and operate from home, or has a business that operate from home and know someone who is talented, you can simply message us on our Facebook and Instagram page and let us know if you want to be featured on the show. We'll take a quick breather, and when we come back, we have gardening next. Welcome back to the show. This time on gardening, Teresa caught up with Ishimu from Nature Park, and Ishimu talks about the importance of plants. Let's take a look.
Plants are important to all living things. They give off positive energy, and above all, they give life. Alright, so this episode is based on education. Now I'm here at the Port Moresby Nature Park to have a chat with Ishimu about the ecosystem and the importance of plants in the life of all living things. Let's go and have a chat with him. I am sure a lot of kids, they learned a lot of things during the World Environment Day, the week, especially talks about plants and anything that's educational. Just to recap on that, what is biodiversity?
Biodiversity is basically the abundance of animals that we have both on the land and also in the ocean. And also it basically refers to plants that we have both on the land and also in the ocean. So it's basically different types of plants and animals that we have both on land and in the ocean. Ecosystem is a community of living things that they live together and they interact with each other within the same species or either different species. And they also interact with the physical environment.
All right, so perfect. We'll just probably look at some other plants and...
This way.
All right. Alright, so I can see that there are a lot of green plants all over the park. Can you explain why the majority of plants here are green?
This, you look here, we have a leaf here. Now, all plants, majority of the plants are green in color because the green color basically inside contains a pigment called the chlorophyll. And that chlorophyll enables or helps the plants to trap the sunlight as much as possible because plants, they are producers and they produce their own food. So that's why plants are green, especially the leaves of all the plants.
There are different types of plants having broader leaves and some having very tiny leaves. I'm sure they have special characteristics. I'm sure there's a difference between that. Can you explain to us about that?
To say it's simple, basically trees that emerge out of the canopy, they are tall, the leaves are small. Reason is basically simple. They have access to sunlight. You compare that to the one down on the understory, and then the forest floor, they have big, broader leaves. The reason behind leaves on the forest floor having broader leaves is basically they are competing for sunlight. As much as possible, they must get sunlight to produce their own food. So that's why they have bigger, broader leaves to have access to sunlight and as much as possible to trap sunlight in the process of photosynthesis.
After all the information, I know that there are subtopics of all the topics that you've covered, and there are also 1,000 other topics. We're here in Papua New Guinea. I'm sure Papua New Guinea is blessed with so much native plants. Can you tell us about what native plants are and what do we have here in the park?
Okay, native plants are basically plants that are only found here in Papua New Guinea. We also have other exotic plants or basically introduced species, but native plants are basically plants that are found in here. For example, like codylines, or we call it tangeta. We have so many different types of codylines in Papua New Guinea from the 4 regions. So these are basically some of the one of the native plants that I can identify. The other one is the quilla trees that we have in Papua New Guinea, especially found up in the highlands. And also we have some of the tall plants like the clinky pine and the hoop pine that are also native in Papua New Guinea, where they grow in high altitude areas, and they also are useful to us because we can also use them to build houses and all this stuff. here in Papua New Guinea. We also have coconuts, which are also found in almost everywhere, but we have some that are, every part of Papua New Guinea. It's also now, it's growing up in the islands also. These are native to Papua New Guinea. We also have bananas. Bananas, up in the islands, we get the nuts and then we eat them. So this is also native. We also have some ficus tree or fig tree, ficus, strangler fig and other fig species that are also native to Papua New Guinea. And also we have some palm trees. And there are lots of plants. And also we are rich in orchids here in Papua New Guinea. There's lots of orchids in Papua New Guinea. And we have some other plants like the rosewood that grows naturally in the forest. And we have the clinky pine and the hoop pine that also grow in high altitude areas. So these are basically some of the native plants that we have in Papua New Guinea that are basically only found here in Papua New Guinea. But we need to be careful on what plants that are coming in, because they can invade the habitat that the native plants are, and then they can also take over the native plants that we have in Papua New Guinea. So why not we go out and check some of the plants that native plants that we have here at Port Moresby Nature Park.
Would you even know what the name of that is?
Did you know that being outdoor is good for your health? Most research suggests that when you're outdoor, it's good for your mind, your body, and your soul. So today on Home Deco, I'll be showing you how to make photo frames, and I've decided to bring my project out here. Let me feel the breeze and also let my mind work its magic. So let's go and see how it's done. So let's see what we will need for this project. For this project, you will need a cardboard, which is the main product we'll be using. I already cut them in two, as you can see. And you will need some construction papers in any color of your liking. Construction A4 size paper. And we'll need a scissors, and we'll need a glue gun to glue the things together. And we'll need this clear hard paper to be in the frame. So let's do this. First, I will start by cutting the cardboard. Now you can do your measurement at your own liking, but for this I went with 6 cm by 8 cm. Now cut the cardboard as shown. Once you're done, cut another box piece into 3 pieces and glue them as shown. You must leave an opening above to put the photo in. Using the stones, glue them onto the frame. So we're almost done with the frame. I've done gluing the stones onto the frame. Now I am going to spray it. So we're finally done with the stones spray painted. They're already dry. So what I'm gonna do now is I am going to place this a construction paper, a clear paper, a clear folder I should say, and a picture. So I'm just gonna put them together and I'm gonna send them in. Remember we left a gap here for the photo. Now I'm gonna put it in. So viewers, that's it for this week's Home Decor. I hope you learned something new, and definitely I would love to put that on my shelf now. So I'll catch you on the other side. Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching House and Home, episode 32, season 20. Now, on Tech People, Quinton shows us how to use Strava app. It's an app that you can use while doing your exercise. So Quinton asked me to join him for his morning walk to demonstrate this app. Let's take a look.
Hi, and welcome to another segment of Tech People. I'm Quinton, and today we're at Ella Beach Ring Road to test out an exercise app. And to help me out, I brought Lisa along.
Hi guys.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi Quinton. So what's the app called?
The app that we are going to demonstrate is called Strava.
Okay, so basically what does it do?
The app basically records the distance you walk, the elevations you go up to, and basically helps you know your fitness level and all that.
Wow, that's amazing. Let's do this.
Yay, let's go.
Strava is one of the most popular apps for those with a competitive edge. The app not only records your runs and bicycle rides, but also creates a competition between you and other people who travel the same route. Strava syncs with various other fitness trackers and running watches, so you don't need to carry your phone with you to use it. Why is Strava so popular? Strava is a fitness-oriented social media app that is popular among cyclists and runners. Users can find new routes, upload their own routes, track their fitness level, and log their performance data. They can also compare their performance with that of the others on the same segment of a ride or run. What does the Strava app do? Like most other apps that tracks your runs and bicycle rides, Strava clocks in your time, distance, speeds, and other relevant factors for your activities while you're doing them. The activities are meant to be done outside, so you can record the activities with the app and your phone directly. If you use the Strava app and your phone to record walks, runs, and rides, you can see real-time stats such as distance and time. At the end of the activity, the data is uploaded to your Strava account where it is analyzed for greater details. A web app makes it easier to get deep into your data because it sees more data in charts and graphs provided. You will also be given a monthly emails giving you stats from distances walked, run, to times, and even your elevations. The hook for most Strava users is competition. After your activity stats finish computing, they go into a pool with other stats, and you will get ranked amongst other Strava community. For example, let's say you run a route that goes the length of an entire road, and it is a popular running destination. Strava will create a segment along the road such as a marker 1 or 2, and the app will look at how fast other people have run the same segment and create a leaderboard showing who has the best time.
And that was our short walk demonstrating the Strava app. Lisa, how was it?
It was really good. The weather was also good. Like starting your walk in the morning is really good. And I'd say it's like walking on your own pace.
Cool. And that's it for another Tech People. See you next time.
Thank you, Quinton, for the morning walk. Well, viewers, you can download this app on Google Play Store and try it out for yourself. Well, viewers, we've come to the end of this week's show. If you want to know more about this episode, feel free to message us on our Facebook and Instagram page, or you can simply contact us on the details showing on your screen now. But before I go, always remember to practice self-hygiene and look after yourself at all times because COVID-19 is here. Until then, stay safe, pleasant viewing. Goodbye.